Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome to today's panel, Next Gen Playables, the reality, the secrets, and best practices. I am Melike Yansi, and I work as a project manager at VIZIO AI. I am honored to be your moderator today. First of all, thank you for joining us. This panel brings together top experts from across the interactive ad industry to unpack the strategies behind high-performing playable ads, what truly works, what doesn't, and how they are shaping the future of performance marketing. We are joining. We are joined by incredible speakers from AdQuantum, SocialPeta, Playable Factory, and TapNation. I'll let them introduce themselves shortly. Ivan, would you like to start by briefly introducing yourself and your role at Quantum?
Of course, nice to meet you. My name is Ivan Razmachov. I'm the head of creative production at the AdQuantum. AdQuantum is a performance agency marketing expert, like 10 years on the market and the full production cycle for creatives.
Thank you so much. We can continue with the Tuğçe.
Hello, everyone. I'm Tuğçe from TapNation. I'm a marketing artist. TapNation is a company since almost, I think, 5 years. And I'm there since 4 years. And I will try to answer your questions about Playable's creative approach today.
Nice to meet you, Öykü.
Okay, hey everyone, my name is Öykü. I'm Turkey-based and I'm head of product at Playable Factory. We're creating playables for gaming and non-gaming companies, and we also offer SaaS tools to help our partners develop and edit their playables. We are leading the production of playable ads, partnering with over 200 top game publishers and brands.
Nice to meet you, Çağatay.
You too.
Hello, everyone. I'm Çağatay. I'm the key account manager of SocialPeta. I work closely with the top gaming studios and app publishers across the MENA region. So if you didn't hear about SocialPeta that much, SocialPeta is a leading ad intelligence platform in mobile marketing space. And I will try to share our insights on how playable ads have evolved last 1 year from niche format to cornerstone of performance marketing for both gaming and non-gaming ads. So that's all.
That's great. Thank you so much, and nice to meet you. I have one question. This question for general, and you can ask if there is any volunteer. It will be great. Let's dive into first question. Playable ads have grown rapidly across gaming and beyond due to their interactive nature. In your view, what's the one key reason they became so effective in performance marketing? And from your experience, could you share a specific moment or campaign that really convinced you of their impact?
Okay, I can answer.
Thank you.
The best thing about playable ads is that people can touch and play with them. If the game looks nice and feels real, people enjoy it, and like a small demo of the real game. Rewarded ads are very common in mobile games. And for example, in video ads, people wait 30 seconds to get reward, but in playables, they play and get reward at the same time. That's why playable usually work better than video ads.
That's great. Is there another answer?
I can try to help you. Or
Okay.
Tuğçe, you can go first.
Okay, thank you. I think playable ads work so well in performance marketing because they let people try the game before they install it. I think this gives an experience. So this short interaction shows what the games feel like and attracts users who are really interested. That means better installs and higher retention and strong ROAS. For a specific moment, we tested for a casual puzzle game with a very simple drag and drop mechanic. The video ad was okay, but the playable showing just 5 seconds of core gameplay made a big difference. Like CPI dropped by 28% and day one retention went up by over 40%. It showed us that even a short, well-made interactive ad can be the polished video if it captures the main gameplay loop. So I think it's also important making the playable very simple and clear to understand.
Great. Çağatay, I think you added something.
Yeah, I can explain something on our end. Like the key reason of the playable ads have become so effective in their ability to pre-qualify users through interaction before install. So unlike the traditional static or video ads, playable ads lets user experience the core gameplay app function firsthand. So resulting higher engagement, lower bounce rates, and ultimate better ROAS. So data supports this. Playable ads drive like 47% more attention compared to video ads. By combining entertainment with functionality, they blur the line between ad and product, and making the transition to download more seamlessly and intentional. So, moreover, the high share of new creatives monthly is increasing every month, and it indicates that they are not only engaging but refreshable and scalable for keeping user fatigue low and campaign relevance high. So I can share one example for this one. Like one moment that stands out was observing the results of mid-core mobile game campaign in MENA region. The studio implemented Playable featuring a real level from the game with a low learning curve and adding download now CTA right after the rewarding player actions. So this format allowed increased install conversion by over 40% compared to their existing video creatives, especially on the Android, where over like 88% creatives were already playable. Interestingly, the region already had the highest iOS playable ratio, showing that the MENA region is culturally ready for interaction-based engagements. So in 2025, we are seeing that similar situation in the non-gaming verticals as well, like in e-commerce app, on fitness apps and utilities, quickly catching up on this. So this shift shows that the interactive UX isn't just a gaming thing anymore. And it's becoming a new norm for mobile ad engagement across the board.
Thank you so much. Ivan, do you want to add anything on this question?
Of course, I agree with our speakers, and one more. The key reason is the interactivity, of course, we know it, but playable ads is a little more about feelings. Playables collapse the gap between users' attention and product value. Instead of telling people what the experience is like, they show it, and it's more importantly about the feelings. I think this gap is the most important in this.
Thank you so much. We have a specific question for all our speakers. So, Ivan, let's start with you. Our question is, we came across your recent interview with PocketGame.biz and found many insightful points, especially your comment that the most successful playables concentrate on a single core mechanic instead of replicating full gameplay. That said, identifying a strong core mechanic isn't always easy. Based on your rich experience with ad creatives, How do you approach finding the right core mechanic that drive engagement and performance?
Okay. First of all, thank you for your attention for this interview. It was really interesting to me to just imagine about the future of the playable ads. So in your question, this is one of the most important and honestly underrated question in the comes to playables, because the truly effective playables doesn't try to show the whole game. It doesn't. It does one thing right, like one mechanic, I think. We start with the simple principle. If the user don't understand what to do in first 3 seconds, you already lost them as the any mobile creatives. But for the playable ads is the more painfully for the users. So the first step, you need to find the mechanic like 3 points. First, it's the feel intuitive, like intuitive in the first glance. It's one of the most important point. Don't confuse the beautiful with the clear, because it's all about the feelings and the mechanics. You don't need to make the perfectly visuals or sound design. It's of course important, but not so like this feeling. The second one delivers the micro satisfaction after the first interactions, like impact or taps or swipes, and reflect the core promise of the game, the emotion of the players ultimately chasing. Uh, I mean, misleading creatives in the playable ads, it's really, really bad for this type of creative, I think. What's about the what we do with that? It's really simple. We make the quick prototype, super raw, not UI, not polish. It's just to test mechanics and test a lot. And honestly, many ideas don't make it. But that's okay, because when you learn the right mechanic, you feel it instantly. It's simple, fun, and makes people want more.
That's great. Thank you so much for your answer and insights. And we will continue with the Çağatay. Çağatay, here's a question for you. According to your joint report with Playable Factory, Playable Edge creatives average around 30K per day in 2024, making up about 8% of total mobile game creativities, and steadily increasing in both volume and share. Based on your data, what trends are you seeing in the performance of playable ads across different game genres? Are certain genres seeing the better result than others?
Absolutely. Our joint report with Playable Factory highlights the clear genre-based patterns when it comes to playable ad effectiveness. So in 2024, playable ad creatives averaged around like 30K per day, as you mentioned, and it's making up about like 8% total mobile game creatives. So both figures steadily increased throughout the year. But we want to break down the by genre. Some categories clearly outperform others. First of all, casual and arcade games are leading the charge. Like casual games accounted for over 1.5 million playable creatives, the highest of any genre. Meanwhile, arcade games had also highest playable share with 12% of their total creatives, indicating how well short interactive gameplay fits user expectations in these segments. Secondly, puzzle and hyper-casual games also stand out. Their simple mechanics and instant feedback loops make them ideal for playable formats. These ads often stimulate real in-game actions, which helps users quickly to understand and engage, drawing better install intent and lower CPIs. So for mid-core games, especially on iOS, are increasingly adopting Playables too. So 25% of their creatives were playable last year. And this is particularly visible in Western markets like Europe and North America, where users are more open to trying demos within the ad itself. So hardcore games like RPGs or strategy titles are still relatively underrepresented in the Playables, with around like 10 to 15% adoption. So these games are often require deeper storytelling mechanics that are harder to simplify into 30-second experiences. So let's say that studios that manage to highlight one compelling mechanic, like character customization or base building, still find value in this format. So overall, the trend is clear. Genres with intuitive gameplay, quick replication, or clear challenge loops perform best with Playables. But we are now also seeing mid-core and some of hardcore developers experimenting with playable variants, especially as tools and creative platforms get more sophisticated with playable ads.
Thank you so much for your answer. I was working on the e-commerce side, and our ads always general ads, and I'm so into games. When I was so playable ads for games, I always playing, especially in e-commerce. Playing ads will be great. Thank you so much for your answer. And let's continue with the Tuğçe. This question for you, Tuğçe. Based on your experience, what's the real impact of playable ads on CPI and ROAS? Do they actually perform better than traditional formats?
Okay, yeah, from my experience, playable ads often starts with higher CPI than static or video ads, mainly because require more user attention, as we mentioned before. But the users stay bringing in more engaged, more likely to retain, and often more willing to spend. Over time, this leads to better ROAS. In one case, even though CPI was 15% higher for the playable, ROAS outperformed the video by over 30% because the ad clearly showed the core gameplay and attract high intent users. So yes, they do perform better when the creative is good. Generally, we try the winner creative as playable because there is no risk, first of all, and we try to understand users' insight and how they react. And also we try to make it simple gameplay.
Thank you so much. And this is our last specific questions. Öykü, playable ads are well established in the mobile gaming space, but how can non-gaming industries successfully adapt these formats? Are there any standout case studies that show how it works outside of gaming?
Okay. There's a strong connection between playable ads and games. In games, the main goal is give users the feeling of real gameplay. But for brands, the goal is usually brand awareness. In this gamification process, we create simple games for brands to help increase awareness. We also develop mini games that brands can use in their apps or websites. For example, one of the Turkey's biggest food app, I think you guys know which one, the purple one. They uses our playables in their apps, very common. The playable ad increases CTR to 11%. The campaign reach over 1 million impression and clicks, and clicks turn into actual customers. Non-gaming brands now use playables not just for engagement. For another example, with Turkey's biggest airline company, they use playables in their apps, and playable directly increase ticket sales. This is one of the reasons why playable ads are becoming more and more important over time.
That's great. I remember now their ads, especially airlines one. And we will continue with our last question, but before moving into our last question, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat, and I can read them out loud and invite our panelists to share their thoughts. So, our last questions for all our speakers. Let's dream a little. What could playable ads become in the next few years? Is there any volunteer? Yes, great. Ivan?
It's a really nice question, and I think a lot about this. For me, I pretend more non-games will make the playable ads for the any tasks for like A/B testing, like UI, like the real experience for using some apps like banks or delivery services, and they all launch as playables as first. Not like right now it's about the static images or video creatives. So first of all, I think the playable ads role will be more and more and more. The second one, I think creative roles will transform, like from marketing become the game designs. Instead of writing slogans or banners, marketers will design interactive experience like the scenarios, onboarding, engagement logic. Campaigns will build like narrative levels. And my personal dream is playable ads will move beyond fixes placement or like mobile platforms, like they'll be embedded like AR layers or voice interfaces or ambient experience, maybe mixed reality, where the users can interact with brands without realizing it's an ad, like the cyberpunk experience.
Thank you. Tuğçe?
Of course, it's a little bit cliche, but of course, it will grow up with AI, I think, and it will be more smarter and more personalized. Maybe I don't know, and maybe AI can change the visuals or difficulty based on the users, like how they react. I'm thinking for this as games, of course. I don't know for the non-gaming, but it can be, I mean, feeling like it can be more like mini demos than ads. Yeah, so it maybe it can be more natural.
Thank you so much. Öykü or Çağatay?
I can answer. I think playable ads will be a big part of digital marketing, not only gaming industry. Because there are about 6 billion phone users in the world and only 3 billion of them play mobile games. And now we also see playable ads in other sectors like finance, health, and education. On data platforms like SocialPeta, many top ads are now from non-gaming companies. And I think with AI supported production and automation, this number will increase quickly, I think, in the future.
Çağatay?
Yeah, so I agree with Öykü on that topic. So if I dream like, playable ads have already redefined the engagement, but we are just stretching the surface at the moment. So in the next few years, I see them evolving into personalized AI-powered micro experiences, like blurring the line more between user acquisition and onboarding. So imagine a world like where AI dynamically generates playable ads tailored to each user's behavior, location, or even device performances. And also there can be a playable NFTs or in-game rewards are unlocked inside at turning UA into a mini live event or loot drop. For non-gaming apps, think of playables like mini product demos, trying to close virtually, simulating finance apps, or previewing real-time AI features before install. So as Web3 generative AI and cloud streaming technologies are mature, playables could also move beyond mobile, maybe appearing in smart TVs, AR glasses, and even in-store displays. So they won't be just ads anymore. They will be interactive brand touch points that merge entertainment and utility. So ultimately, I believe that Playables will shift from performance marketing to becoming becoming a core part of user journey from discovery to retention.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your answers and the insights. So much question on chats. I will start the first one. Faizan asked this question. Are you talking about the Just Game or something else on apps? This question I'm not sure for who, but if any volunteer can answer this question, it will be great.
I was talking just for the games because it's in my field, but I don't know the other people.
Okay, let's me answer. Of course, it's 95%. It's about the games, but now we see the more non-gaming projects will make playable ads. It's really starting with this, but of course, I saw a couple of projects with non-gaming mechanics. And it worked.
Thank you so much. Sorry, if there is no another answer, I will continue with our second questions. So let me continue. Isabel asked this question: how are non-gaming app using playable ads effectively? Maybe Öykü.
Okay. They can use in their websites or apps like mini game, like a spinning wheel, or they can use them like a pop-up or the intros in their websites.
Thank you so much. And I'll continue with the Mehmet questions. Mehmet said, I use both Android and iOS mobile devices. I only saw Android app has playable ads. Coincidence or is it a thing?
I can answer this question if you want. So it's a very good observation actually, and it's definitely not a coincidence. So when you check the data of our joint report with Playable Factory, over 75% of Playable creatives were on Android on 2024, while iOS accounts like 25%. So statistically, likely the encounter Playables on Android is much higher. So it's also related with the platform flexibility. Android offers more freedom for ad networks to implement interactive creatives with fewer restrictions on behavior tracking, redirection, and user interaction. But iOS, especially after the transparency changes, imposes stricter rules, making some ad formats less effective or harder to implement. And it's also related with the demographics and user demographics and market priorities. So in many regions, especially in emerging markets, Android dominates in market share. So advertisers often prioritize their volume and ROI, so they lean more on Android for formats like Playables, where mass testing and iteration is the key. So yes, it's a thing. If you are using both Android and iOS, you mostly see Playables on Android. You are seeing a direct reflection of how the industry deploys and prioritizes this ad format.
Thank you so much. And Julia's questions, how do you balance fun and functionality in a playable ad without overwhelming the user? Who can answer this question?
Okay, I can answer it. We keep the playable simple, short, and clear. One main action and one goal. That's enough to make it fun and easy, I think.
Do you want to add anything? Okay. The next question is, what's the biggest mistakes brands make launching playable creatives?
Okay, I'll asking for this. Most important mistake is many brands don't understand how with playable ads work. They think it's a really huge game. They want to show all the mechanics and don't understand what you have 20 seconds, 5 steps for this. And our goal to understanding the huge brands, how it works.
Thank you so much. The next question is, what is the preferred practice to make playable for any new game at launch? How do you identify the duration and experience style for the users? We need volunteer.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'll take it. Okay.
I think you are more expert, so you can continue.
Okay. Okay, thank you. In the new game at launch, you have the many strategies, like you can test the gameplay creatives. It's really work to hyper casual games. If your creative with the gameplay really work, you can make it for the playable ads. If your budget is not so big to make playable for without any hypothesis.
Thank you so much. Are short or long playables more effective?
I can answer. Oh, sorry. You can.
No.
I think you're better at this. You can answer.
Okay, it depends, but short playables are more effective because they grab attention fast and the short playables are easier to finish.
Thank you so much. And the next one, what do you think of drag and create playable ads? Can those products produce successful playables? We are waiting for the volunteer again.
Okay, I can answer it too. Yes, they can work well if the tool is easy and good templates. Like we have a tool name is Ready, and we have a lot of templates in the Ready tool, and our users can make strong creatives fast. I think this template is more suitable for the non-gaming companies. because of these templates have a basic, simple gameplay mechanics.
Thank you so much. And this question's for you, Öykü. Let's continue with you. Just curious, how do you go about creating playable ads on your end? What's your process like? Do you use any AI tools in the workflow, or is it mostly manual with game assets and UI? Would love to learn how your team approaches it.
Okay, we usually start with the ideation, and after that the game assets, and we develop a simple core main playable. We use AI for localization, creating intro videos, generating sounds, or producing UGCs. Yeah.
Thank you so much. And a few AI tools questions, and I skipped this one. And the next one is, what's the current average cost of playable ads on the market? Which networks perform best for playables? Do you have any comparisons between tier 1 and tier 2 markets in terms of playable ads?
For the networks, we can say Meta, I think. Yeah, I think it's the top one.
I can't give a pricing and number, but for the networks, we can say Eplavin, Unity, Mintegral, and Moloko in our site.
Thank you. Vivek said Samsung recently published interactive formats for TV. So is there a demand from e-commerce companies for playable ads for the TVs? It's not a question, but it's a good point and note. And the next one is from Surya. How long does it typically take to go from concept to live playable?
Okay, I'll take it. It's making the one day, of course. You can make it from the idea to production. It really have much variables. Of course, what soft you use. Maybe you have some templates. Have you game assets? About your experience and expertise with the genre or same title. The most fast our production, it's one working day.
Oh, that's great. Thank you so much. And which tech stack do you think is the most sufficient for building a playable ads? Is it Unity, Cocos, or others?
Can I?
Sure.
It really depends, and this from the last questions. Of course, if you a huge publisher, you can use the Unity because you have a full game. You need just cut some mechanics and leave the one of these, and that's okay. If you like urgency, you have a cocos, and really depends have you the assets. So my answer is it's really depends of our mission.
Thank you. The other question is Isabel, but how to make a creative idea for non-gaming apps? It seemed to not so think. Okay, we can ask this one again or Çağatay.
Okay. The company sent the idea to us generally, but if we sent the idea to the company, we keep it simple mechanics, and we have an insight tool, and we see which playables for non-gaming is perform well, and we sent the idea to the customer. We sent these ideas to the customer if the impression is very high.
Thank you. Çağatay? Will you add anything? Okay.
Yeah, I can add something like, the non-gaming companies use it like an experience of the product. Like, for example, for a cleaning app, you can stimulate dragging junk files into a trash bin. When complete, it shows the fake form boosted message and prompt a download, something like that. So you can check your competitors' campaigns if you have that are using playable ads formats on their campaigns, and use ad intelligence tools like SocialPeta to gain more insights about these campaigns.
Thank you so much. Next question. With the advancement of phone technology and the increase in the internet speed, do you think network providers will make some adjustments above the 5 megabyte limit? I forgot the word, sorry. Limit given to playable ads.
Okay, I'll try to answer. It's a really nice question, but it really depends of market. For the first tier and the second tier, it's maybe legitimate, but in the tier 3 countries, not so good with the internet connections, with the last phone models, and I think a couple of years, nothing will change about that. And 5 megabytes, it's not the end, because some platforms have limit of 3.5 megabytes. So it's really important because the internet connections for the tier 3 countries not so good with the internet.
Thank you. The other question is, what makes a playable ad truly unscapable in the first 3 seconds?
I can answer this. I think it has to show in the first 3 seconds the interactivity, clear visual, and clear and strong visual contrast, we can say, and no loading screens, no confusion. Maybe we can give a little bit tutorial how to play it.
Okay.
I can answer the second question. She said, how do you test and iterate labels without burning your budget? You can make short interactive end cards, like 3 or 5 seconds first, and you can test with few users, and then you can improve step by step.
Thank you so much for your help. Next one is monetization networks criteria is always though, even with Genie, user does AI make it more comfortable for users or is it going to be though? What do you think about that? Is there any volunteer for this question?
A hard question.
Yeah, no monetization info.
Yes, because networks still have strict rules, and so it won't be much easier, I think.
Thank you so much. Mohammed Eskisvan, Luna has some limitation and sometimes they affect the gameplay satisfaction. What else can we use other than Luna?
Which limitations and which effects? If you send me after this webinar, I can answer your question, I think.
Thank you so much for your support. And let me continue. Last two questions. Abdullah said, is it a bad strategy to use some features in creatives playables that are not into game actually? Like I have observed this in multiple creatives that features or gameplay is portrayed in such a way which is not there in a game.
I can answer this. I think I always prefer to real gameplay to show. But it's, for example, in hyper casual and casual games, we can create playable very basic. But for the mid-core games, if we are making a playable for it, we can't show the all features. So we have to keep it simple to make user understand better. So I don't prefer it so much, but if we have to use it, it depends on the game genre. We have to make it, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and I can give an example. Or sorry.
No.
I can give for example. We develop a playable for one of our big clients, and players can choose a character as a playable as an intro, and this female character not in the game, but we saw that most users picked the female character, and the client changed the main character in their game to a female character of this result. And compared to static or video ads, this playable gets 10 times higher CTR and 2 times higher CVR and IPM.
Thank you. Ivan?
Wanna add one another point is I have a case with the huge hyper casual game. Then in playable ads, we testing the physics in the game, and after that, we implemented in the real game. It's real huge numbers like PDR is 40%, and in this title, it's really work, but it's not for everything, and it's really interesting case because it's 95% of another experiments was lost.
Thank you so much. Before our latest questions, I'd like to kindly ask our speakers to drop their LinkedIn or email in the chat for anyone who wants to follow up later. Thank you so much. And I'll continue with the Mohammed questions. Can we put a banner ad in our playables?
Yes. Yes, we can. We worked with Öykü once. If you remember Öykü, we put even UGC intro on the playables.
Yes, I can remember. We can add everything in the playable.
Yeah, that's.
Thank you so much. That's great. And there's a question from Hooky Games, and I translated for you thanks to GPT. How ethical is it for many ads networks and game companies to persist in using misleading in-game ads, even though they know that promoting content that doesn't reflect the actual gameplay mechanics or content could lead to legal action?
Okay, I think lawyers can explain the legal risks and details better than us. We are focused more on marketing and the user experience.
Thank you for your answers. I checked the chat and there is no another question, I think. Thank you for your sharing LinkedIn. And closing parts that bring us to the end of today's panel. Thank you all for attending, and thank you to our amazing speakers for their insights. We hope this session was helpful in giving you a clearer picture of how playable ads are evolving and what's coming next. Enjoy the rest of your day and see you at future events. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye bye.
Bye
Bye.
bye.